I spent tens of thousands of dollars on beauty and wellness trends before my wedding. And let me tell you, not everything was worth the hype. I hired a health coach and we ran some functional lab testing. So this was one of the things that I did that was probably the biggest investment, obviously because it involves hiring a practitioner, doing all the lab testing, tons of supplements, personalized protocol. And I decided to do some one-on-one coaching and receive a personalized protocol. I want to know exactly what's going on in my body. And I think one of the biggest things from this process was actually understanding that my health was in a really, really good place. And that was so relieving to find out, because I do think that there's a lot of fear mongering in the wellness space in general of just like, because there's microplastics in everything and everything is an endocrine disruptor and everything is fucking with your gut and your hormones, like you can easily start to walk around thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm probably fucked. And you're like, I must have a parasite because I've traveled a bunch and I've never done a cleanse. And apparently everybody has a parasite. So overall, I would rate this whole kind of experience that I went through an 8 out of 10. And the only reason I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 is because the bridal era really made me so hyper aware of every aspect of my physical body in a way that I had not experienced in years. At certain points throughout this, like I really did feel like I was having flashbacks of body dysmorphia days and just like fixating on any possible flaw because of all of the growth and like healing work that I've done. Thankfully, I would never turn to something unhealthy like restriction or not eating. I love myself way too much to do that. And I know too much, like I know better than to do anything like that. But it was a really interesting process to like, for the first time in years and years and years, to actually like not feel fully confident in my physical body and to just be more aware of like, oh yeah, like I do have a little extra fat right there. And just noticing things that I never really noticed before. I think that the bridal beauty pressure is real and it's kind of insane. Even though we're influenced by these outside sources like social media and influencers and Pinterest aesthetics and all the stuff, I don't blame anyone outside of myself for how I was feeling. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, it's the patriarchy and it's whatever. Like, no. None of that whiny bullshit. I just think like if you have any level of perfectionism inside of you inherently, it can just be awakened like a monster when you are about to get married, because there's so much time and money and planning around this one day. And so of course you want to be perfect and you want to look and feel amazing. And so I do think that it makes sense why that happens. Like I am a very confident person and I rarely ever feel like there are things quote unquote wrong with me. But I will say during this like bridal era, I was noticing a lot more that could be optimized or fixed or worked on. And I did feel a lot of pressure of like really, really wanting to get to the day of my wedding and be like, I am her. I am the woman that I've always wanted to be in terms of like just looking and feeling amazing internally, externally, all the things. And that is a really big thing to try to achieve. It's a really big mountain to climb, especially because there is no limitation to what we can achieve when it comes to beauty and health and wellness and fitness and like all of those things. And so to want to be optimized in every area all at once for one day of your life is sort of like an insane, impossible task. If I'm being really honest, I don't even feel like I've made a super noticeable physical transformation, which is kind of like the biggest bummer ever, low key, because you think I'm going to do all of this. I'm going to go so hard. I'm going to put in all this time and effort. And by the time I get to my wedding, like I'm really going to like look like I've never looked before. Like I'm going to just, wow, like it's going to be amazing. And I really did kind of feel like that, especially because I was willing to go all out for it and really like do all the things that were in my power to optimize. But it just reminded me of like how we always have these dream goals and visions of a perfectly curated Pinterest board life where we think once I can do this or have that, then I'll be happy. And the real lesson is always that you will be happy when you decide to be. Like, duh, fucking duh. I'm humbled and reminded once again, but this is the human experience, you know? But when you get to the point where it's like, actually, there's not even enough time left for any like additional crazy physical transformation to take place, you have no other choice but to like reach the place of acceptance and actually letting go of feeling like I needed to be on top of everything and like locking in and like going so hard with everything was the thing that completely shifted me feeling like, no, I genuinely do look amazing. And so whether it actually is in the physical or it's just in the mental and the spiritual, it doesn't really matter. But for anyone who is kind of feeling that, or if you are also in your bridal era or you're gonna have a wedding. Like if this happens to you, I want you to remember this conversation so that you don't go crazy and you're like, it's actually going to be fine because like right before, I'm just going to feel fucking amazing. Like just trust and believe that that is what's going to happen.